Welcome to my channel, Acheno Ogola the lawyer, Karibuni Sana, and today I have a lovely lady, yes, phenomenal, all those lovely words. She's called Barbara Malowa. She's a young advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and we are going to be talking about mostly the East African Law Society, and I hope that you're able to gain more insight on this. If you enjoy this video, like, share, and subscribe. So thank you so much, Barbara, for agreeing to be on my show today. And
welcome.
Now I'd like you to introduce yourself to my viewers, tell them more about yourself, your professional journey and your career journey.
Yes. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor, it's always an honor, a pleasure to talk to members about affairs of the society. So I truly appreciate this opportunity. As you've said, my name is Barbara Achien Malowa. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I was admitted to the bar in 2014. So this is my 6th year in practice, going to 7th. So I don't know if I still qualify as to be called a young advocate because young advocate is 0 to 5. So we are that group that's in the middle, between 5 to 10. We are yet to find a definition for ourselves, but I'm still young at heart.
Yes,
and I like to associate myself with a young advocate. I schooled pretty much here in Nairobi. I did my primary school in Nairobi. After that, I went to secondary school at St. George's Girls, still in Nairobi. I did well. I proceeded for my law degree at the Moi University in Eldoret. That was the first time I was leaving Nairobi to go outside. So it was a bit of a culture shock for me. I remember, I think my first semester was quite hard. So I would just focus on meeting people who are from Nairobi because I felt they're the ones who had common interests with me. But with time, I made friends. One thing I thank God for is that I think I'm a very friendly person, so it's very easy for me to make friends. Yes, I made a lot of friends, and after that, going to my second semester, I like to say I think my mother even forgot about me because the calls reduced. So it was just about surviving there, which I believe has been very instrumental in my life because it has taught me to be very independent. I'm very independent now. I rarely depend on people for things. I do like to do things on my own. But of course, if I'm stuck, I'll always ask for help. So I went to school there at Moi University. I graduated in 2011 and joined the School of Law. Did my bar exams. 2013, I did my pupillage at Women Kanjama Advocates, and my pupil master, Mr. Charles Kanjama, who has been very instrumental in my growth, both professionally and even within the society. I don't know if I say politically or I don't know what term to give it, but he's been very instrumental. Part of who I am today is I can largely attribute it to him. He was an amazing people master. Even when I was in Moi University, during the breaks, I would work there. So it was a good platform for me because I would after learning in school, the theoretical part, I would see how the practical part is done because I worked in the law firm. So I worked for Women Kanjama until I think 2018 or 2019, upon which I left. They say you always have to leave home, and I started my own firm. I'm running a practice with 2 other partners in the name of NEM Advocates, LLP. So basically that has been my professional and career journey.
Wow. And now maybe we could talk about how you joined now the East African Law Society.
When I was admitted, I think in 2016, 2 years after admission, there was a call for members to apply to join the committees. I applied, and I was taken, my application was accepted, and I became a member of the Young Lawyers Committee. In the Young Lawyers Committee, we had members from the previous committee, and whenever we sat together, I would hear them talk about the East Africa Law Society. So I wanted to know what this East Africa Law Society is, because by virtue of paying for my PC, I was automatically a member of East Africa Law Society. So I wanted to understand what EALS is all about, and I would ask them, what is this EALS? And they told me it's a regional bar comprised of membership from within East Africa.
East Africa to
This East Africa, it's,
Kenya.
There's the Law Society of Kenya, the Uganda Law Society, the Tanganyika Law Society, Burundi Bar Association, Rwanda Bar Association, and recently we're joined by the South Sudan Bar Association.
Wow.
And Zanzibar Law Society. So they will talk about this society, institution, and I really wanted to know about it. So I just asked. I asked what it's about. And by virtue of that, they told me what it's about. And I decided, the group of young lawyers, they had said that, you know what, we feel as young lawyers, we're not being involved in the matters of ELS. And when we want to have a stake, we also want to meet lawyers from the other regions and get to understand what it is that's happening in those regions, what it is that they are doing, what they're doing for young advocates, how young advocates are contributing to the growth of the society. And because of that, under the able leadership of our immediate former VP, that's Madam Harriet Chigai, she took a group of us and we sat down and we requested the leadership of the Law Society to let us have a Young Lawyers Conference. And they were very open to the idea. And in 2016, we held our inaugural Young Lawyers Conference in Dar es Salaam, where I sat in as a rapporteur.
Wow.
Yes. And that's how I became part and parcel of ELS.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that's really interesting. So now maybe you could explain to our viewers what ELS is all about, because I'm sure even many young lawyers don't know about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as I've said, it's a regional bar association comprised of membership from all those bars that I've mentioned. Initially membership was mandatory. But in an AGM, I think in 2018, just when I was elected into office, we passed a resolution for membership to be voluntary. So what happens is institutional membership, meaning LSK, the Uganda Law Society, institutional membership is mandatory, right?
Yeah.
But individual membership is voluntary, meaning I, as Barbara Malowa, I could choose to be a member of ELS or not, but LSK as a body is a member of ELS. So when you're paying for your practice certificate, there's an amount that's indicated as the regional integration. You pay $10 towards membership of ELS, now by LSK. So ELS was founded in 1995, and very interesting. It was actually the idea to conceive ELS was not born in East Africa, but in Washington.
Wow.
There were a group of lawyers from within the region, that was Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. They were invited by the US bar to go to US and see how the bar in US is run. So when they went there, they were like, wow, this is quite interesting, and it's bringing members from different states. So they said, why not have something like that in East Africa? And they sat together on, I think the workshop must have been in New York, and they were going back to Washington, DC. They sat together in a plane, and those were three members. The then Law Society president, that is Senior Paul Wamae. Then there was a representative from Uganda, that is Senior Counsel John Mary Mugisha, and also Counsel Mbuya from Tanzania. And they said they were on the plane that sat together, three of them, and they said, let's do something like this for East Africa. And that is where the idea for ELS was conceived. And they said they wanted to form a society to bring together all the members and to bring together to form a formidable and integrated society. And the main purpose for this society would be, of course, to promote the rule of law, good governance, promote the legal profession, and also constitutionalism. And because of that, EALS was born. Some of the notable members that were part of this drive from Kenya, we had Chief Justice David Maraga. He was very instrumental. Willie Mutunga. Who else? Court of Appeal Judge Kathurima Minoti. Professor Tom Ojenda, and the late Nzamba Kitonga. So these were the brains behind the East Africa Law Society, and we thank them, because if we're not for them, had they not dared to think outside the box, would not be where we are today. So because of this, basically the idea behind it is what now formed the objectives of EALS, which is to promote the rule of law, good governance, that is at our heart. Through EALS, we normally file matters at the East African Court of Justice. We call them strategic litigation. So to build capacity of members, not only in the legal profession, but also members within the region. And then we also promote regional integration. And one of the things that is very dear to me is training. We want to develop capacity of the legal profession. So we offer training in emerging areas of law to enable the advocates to deal with emerging challenges in areas of governance, business and trade. So in a nutshell, that is what EALS is about.
So now maybe we could talk about how the East African Law Society has influenced the practice of law in East Africa. As you've said, you've been conducting trainings, but have you seen the practice of law in East Africa improve as a result of this regional society?
Indeed. I think it has tremendously improved. As I've said, one of the trainings we've conducted, we have sought to sensitize members on the use of the East African Courts of Justice and the African Courts of Justice. These are courts that were formed under the East African Community Treaty. And we've seen more and more members file their matters there. If you feel there's been a violation of human rights, you can go there. And with East African Courts of Justice, it doesn't require you to exhaust the mechanisms, internal mechanisms. You can just go and file your case there. A recent case that was decided was this one for Honorable Martha Karua. Yes, I think she filed it just after her matter had been decided in the Supreme Court. She went to the East African Court of Justice, and if you see, she actually won. And she's been awarded some money. So that's one of the influences because of EALS, because of the constant trainings we've been able to do. Also, we've seen just through the trainings we've partnered with we like to call them world-class institutions to provide training in various areas of law. We've partnered with Advocates for International Development, who've conducted a number of trainings on business and human rights. A lot of people don't think these are related, but when you attend one of these trainings, it actually gives you a clear picture of how it's impossible to even run a business smoothly or successfully if there's violation of human rights. So we've done a lot of that. We've done training on IT. So we've done training on construction law. We've done training on evidence and forensic law, which has really helped, especially criminal practitioners, in presentation of evidence, because we've had sessions where we brought in experts, and sometimes, you don't know how you have, let's say, an audio. You don't know how to present that as evidence in court. So through these trainings, we've really been able to assist lawyers within the region. Also, we normally hold our annual conference in November, between November and October, November of every year, whereby we see advocates from across the region attending. Using these platforms, people get to network, and you're able to discuss about the various legal challenges you're facing in your country. And you're able to come up with solutions just as you're seated there, right? There's also been a lot of mentoring for young advocates. Last year we had a session whereby we're talking about finances, opening of law firms, and I think with young advocates, sometimes you get a brief, you get a lot of money, you don't know what to do. So we had such a session that was from Kenya. We had Mohammed from Nyaoga, Mr. Senior Counsel Nyaoga, Mohammed Nyaoga. We had the president of the EALS. Another notable, we had Chacha Odera as well. And advocates, we called it a fireside chat, yes, whereby young lawyers were able to shoot questions to these experienced advocates and were able to gain a lot from them. We also have a leading law firm forum, whereby the leading law firms, if you feel you're a leading law firm, you can apply to be a member of that forum. And the leading law firms have been very instrumental because they also offer a lot of trainings to the members, yes, and they also support and sponsor a lot of activities, and also in terms of networks. They've formed, I think there have been a great networks that have been formed. I know of a leading law firm here in Kenya. One of the partners has partnered with other leading law firms in Uganda and Tanzania, and they've been able to open firms. Wow. So you see, in turn, this has created employment for advocates within the region. And these people would not have met if we didn't have this platform of EALS. So I believe we have been very influential in the practice of law within the region. Wow,
wow. I was almost asking the achievements, but you know, you have crowned it all. So maybe now I could talk about challenges that the East African Law Society has faced, especially maybe I could say in terms of championing for good governance. Honestly, Uganda, I don't understand how they survive, how Bobi Wine has just always been fought by the president. Sometimes it seems like I feel the Ugandan Law Society is not doing so much, you know, to be vocal. Maybe now you could talk about some of those challenges.
Yes. Before I go to that, I'll just mention two more of things we've been able to achieve. As we started, I said I was elected as the Young Lawyers Representative and the Deputy Secretary General. Because of this push by these young lawyers who started the 2016 conference, we further pushed to have a seat in council. Before, there was no young lawyer representative in council. Wow. But we pushed for that and were able to get a seat. And because Kenyans were the forefront, pushing, as always, we were able to get the position of the inaugural Young Lawyers advocate, representative, and that's how I was elected to that position, where I sat in as the Deputy Secretary General, and also I was the chair of the continuous professional development. So one of the achievements was getting a position for the lawyers in the decision-making table. I handed over recently. The position is now in Zanzibar, and we are going to continue to working together just to support and ensure the voices of young lawyers are heard in important decision making. Also, in terms of membership contribution, initially we all used to pay $4,000, that is $40 for membership, but now we managed to change it, we've clustered it. If you've been admitted and you're from admission to 2 years, you pay $10. From 3 to 5 years, you pay $20, and now from 5 years and above, you pay $40. So I think that has also gone a long way. During this pandemic, we had organized a number of trainings. Like I've said, training is the heart of EALS, and also it was very important for me, even as the chair of the CPD, Continuous Professional Development. We were able to do, from March to now, I think we've done about 21 webinars in these emerging areas of law I've mentioned. And still members would send us their suggestions and would look for experts in these areas and organize training for members. Now we'll bring the training to your desk. You don't have to travel to Arusha or Rwanda where the training is being offered. So for me, that was very important. And also now, most people usually ask, how do I join EALS? Initially, you'd have to go, because you don't pay For voluntary membership, you don't pay the subscription fee to Law Society of Kenya. You have to go to the bank to pay. But during my tenure in office, we were able to come up with a member portal, just like the one we have at LSK. Right now, by a click of a button, you can apply for membership, pay the fees using there's a payment, online payment platform. And you become a member, and you can also renew your membership. You don't have to go to the bank and then get the receipt and email EALS. And then we've come up with the affinity card, whereby once you're a member, you get the affinity card and you're able to get discounted rates at EALS. We also give priority to our young lawyers to send in their articles for us to publish in our journals. And we also recently published the East Africa Lawyers Magazine, whereby a number of young lawyers, including the winner of the essay competition, published their articles. So there's a lot of we've done. There's a new council, which is very young, vibrant, energetic, and I believe they'll continue to do more. On the issue of challenges, one of the things we've done, we have amazing partners, and I think that has helped us grow a lot. We've partnered with people like Ford Foundation, whereby they've been able to assist us in promoting our agenda of democracy and human rights. The issues we've talked about in Uganda and even Tanzania are centered around democracy and human rights. So we've had trainings for journalists, for the civil society, for human rights movers, just to be able to sensitize them on how to adapt to the changes within the ecosystem. It's not been easy for us, especially like in a country like Tanzania. The headquarters of EALS are in Arusha. So in fact, there was a time whereby they were saying now we have to start, we are registered, in the manner in which we are registered, we have exemption on some of the taxes. But now they said we'd have to start paying. So we also caught up in a situation whereby you want to address these issues, but you also have a president who's extremely powerful. And by the click of snap of his finger, he's able to dismantle the whole organization. Those are some of the challenges we faced. We've tried to sensitize people from these areas. It's continued work in progress. In Uganda also, what we did, we issued a statement, of course, condemning the acts of violence. EALS has to work with the regional bars. So we have to engage them first, listen, because they are the ones on the ground, hear what it is that they're saying. And from that, the governing council sits down and make an informed decision as to what we are going to say or do. Also, we've partnered with Raoul Wallenberg Institute, and RWI has been very instrumental in access to justice, deepened access to justice. We've sensitized members of the community whose rights have been violated during such instances to go to the African Court of Justice, to go to the East African Court of Justice, or even their local courts to seek justice. So I can't say we've been able to achieve what we've set out to do, but we've not given up. We are still trying. It's continued work in progress.
And maybe I could ask now, are there also maybe like the West African Bar Association, which maybe, or other bar associations in certain ends of Africa that you also collaborate with?
Yes, we have AFBA, African Bar Association. We are trying to collaborate. I'll say that. It's not easy, but we are trying. Yes.
Okay.
I'll leave that there.
It's okay.
It's work in progress. Of course, we reach out to them a number of times. Their members are helpful and instrumental when we require things or how they've approached certain issues, and they're ready to help. But we're still trying to work with them in terms of collaboration for the greater Africa.
Wow, that's really nice. And maybe now we could move home and talk about now the Law Society of Kenya. Do you hold a position, and if so, what do you do in the Law Society of Kenya?
As they say, East or West home is always best.
Yeah.
I sit in the board of the Advocates. I think I've talked about Africa so much that it's just in my mind. I sit in the board of the Advocates Benevolent Association. The Advocates Benevolent Association is an association that was set up to assist advocates in distress. So we come to you in your time of need. We assist you in whichever little way we can. The membership of ABA basically consists of members of LSK who've paid for their practicing certificates. And when you pay for a practicing certificate, there's a fee of 3,500 that you pay. And once you pay for this, you automatically become a member of ABA. Recently, we had a meeting with our president, who also sits as an ex-officio member of ABA, and we passed a resolution to allow advocates under Section 10 who do not ordinarily take out practicing certificates to be also members of ABA because they felt that they were being left out. There are a number of things ABA does and they were not benefiting from these things. So during the campaigns, there were a lot of pleas from them. So we brought the new board, start with the president, and we passed a resolution. Now all you have to do is go to LSK or even make an application. The application is presented for the board. You pay your back fees and you automatically become a member of ABA. What ABA does mostly is one, we have a number of programs which some members are aware of, most are not. We're trying to sensitize them on the said programs that we run. We have first something that is called the last expense cover. In the event of demise of an advocate, the family is required to make an application to ABA whereby we pay an amount of 50,000. Right now it's not a lot. It may seem as not a lot, but it truly goes a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
It goes a long way. What happens when you want to apply for this? One day you have to be up to date with your payments. You have to be an active member of the society, and we require you to send with the application the burial permit, a copy of the deceased ID, and of course the branch chair from wherever you are practicing from also has to send the application. You send that to the board, to the secretariat at ABA, and mostly we try to process them. Once you get the burial permit, within 48 hours, we try and process the payment. We also have something that is called the medical appeal. This has been utilized quite a lot during this pandemic. You find insurances were not covering COVID. So we got a lot of applications. It's capped at 35,000. I think there are instances whereby members have gotten up to 100,000, but you have to explain together with supporting documents why we should give you that 100,000. Remember, this money is supposed to serve 17,000 lawyers, and one lawyer contributes 3,500. So in some situations, we've had to exercise, even the previous board had to exercise discretion and give more than that. We also have the education fund, whereby when a member dies, ABA takes up the role of educating the children.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, because you find a member has passed on, maybe he has 4 children, they are young ones, some are in secondary, others are in university level, and you know, school education is expensive. So what we do is we pay a yearly fees. Of course, we can't pay the whole amount because you find members with children who are in Briban and you get school fees for 400,000. It would deplete our funds really. And there will also be complaints from members saying, oh, where am I getting 60 and this one 400,000? So we decided, the previous board decided to come up with a flat rate, which is 60,000 for children who are in nursery and primary. When you get to secondary, we pay 80,000, and when you get to university, we pay 60,000. Initially, we would pay 60,000, but now we partnered with HELB to create a revolving fund, because one thing we're looking at is in future maybe increasing the amount. We can only increase this amount if we get more money. So with this revolving fund, once you get the 60,000, after you're done, just the way if you get money from HELB after education, you refund, it's also the same concept.
Okay.
The member will be required to refund, be given a payment plan to give back this money. When we give back this money, it enables us to assist the next member and grows the fund. We also have the the education, medical,
the last
expense. We've also come up with the Wakili pension scheme, which is a retirement fund.
I can also start contributing.
Yes, you can contribute. I think as lawyers, I included, our savings culture is terrible, unfortunately. Okay, some are what should you call this? Some are, what am I looking for?
Maybe good.
No, not good. Some are disciplined.
Yeah, disciplined.
They can actually save.
Yeah.
But some get money and they want to spend all of it, right? So we've come up with the Wakili pensions scheme to help members save for retirement.
Wow.
We're not going to be in practice forever, and it's important to think about the future. So there are different amounts. Where if you go to our website, you'll be able to get the forms. You can either pay monthly or quarterly, but if you look at it, we extend the payment. You could do until 75. You could join as late as when you're 75, but now we've extended the limit to 80 years. We extended it about 2 months ago.
Some practice till 80.
Yes. There are advocates who are practicing until that age. So it helps you in saving, and even after retirement, you're not running up and down the courts. You have something to assist you when there's no sufficient income coming in. So I did really encourage members to take this retirement plan. Unfortunately, the uptake has not been as good as we had wanted, but we understand maybe it's because of COVID. But next year is a new year. You're encouraged to take it up. You can always call the Secretariat for more information. If you go to the website of ABA, just type ABA website, you'll be able to get the forms filled, and you'll be notified on how there's an M-Pesa payment platform, how you can pay, or if it's a bank deposit, how you can make it, and it will help you in the long run. Also, we've come up with there's always this complaint that ABA focuses more on the old and dead people. Because of that, personally, like I said, I'm young.
Yes.
And also, I don't have a child. So the question is, how do I benefit from this ABA? One, what is of most importance, and even during the pandemic, we really emphasize on mental health. So we're encouraging advocates to join gyms, right? Membership, we join gyms. We've partnered with a premium gym in town, whereby advocates are getting discounted rates. We've also partnered with the Hill Park gym. You get discounted rates whether it's on accommodation, use of the swimming pool.
I should start.
Food, everything. Yes.
I should start.
So,
I'm flexing my muscles.
Please join. It's not as if you present your card as an LSK member, an ABA member, you get a discounted rate. Right now we're in talks with, we're also alive to the fact that a number of advocates have gone into depression, others have turned to alcohol. So we're in the process of partnering with Kenya Counsellors Professional Forum to offer affordable counseling services to our members. It is work in progress now, and we are hoping to launch it, roll it out probably in January. We are the final stages of negotiations. We're still looking to come up with more and more programs for young lawyers and lawyers without children, so that all members feel they're part and parcel of ABA.
Wow. Wow, I love the work that you're doing. In fact, I'm so encouraged. I can't wait to start enjoying those discounted rates. Thank you. And maybe now, as we're almost winding up, you could now maybe share your advice to young lawyers in East Africa. Because in East Africa, I think now being in that platform, you're able to interact with lawyers from different parts of East Africa, and maybe you could see the challenges or the growth that young lawyers are making or their strides. So what is your advice to young lawyers in East Africa?
Number one, what I'd push for is for young lawyers to be instrumental and push for this. There's something called the Mutual Recognition Agreement. As it stands now, cross-border practice is a challenge.
Oh, okay.
You're not able to go to, let's even say Tanzania, within the legal profession
and practice
there. Yes. You're not able to go to, let's say Uganda. You have, for Uganda, there's I think a course you have to do for you to be admitted to the bar.
A course?
Yes, or there's something you have to do for you to be admitted to the bar. I'll check and confirm so that you can put it on the comments. This is because there's something called the Mutual Recognition Agreement, whereby the member states agree, the regional bars agreed that we should all be able to practice within East Africa, right? So the president signed, but now the challenge we're facing now is, despite the society signing, the AGs of the respective countries also have to agree to this and append their signature.
All the attorney generals.
Yes. So a number of times the question comes, what has the EALS done to push for cross-border practice? We have done what we're required of us. We have done. All the presidents of the different bar associations have accepted. It's now the AGs of the countries. So what I can request for young lawyers within East Africa, there's a way we normally push our governments, even if it's writing letters, holding peaceful demonstrations, do this, because it has been something, I think he said in 2010, it's unfortunate, we celebrated 25 years of EALS, and we've still not been able to realize this dream. It is, most people who meet you will always ask you this as the first question. So it's not only up to EALS, it's up to also the members. Let us participate, let us push for our AGs, our countries to sign this mutual recognition agreement, so that I, Barbara, can go to Tanzania and open my law firm, and it won't be a problem, right? You can go to Uganda, open your firm, it won't be a problem, and you can practice there. So that's one of the things I'd request advocates to push for. I'd also request them to participate in EALS activities. We have a number of activities running throughout the year. Other than the conference, we have trainings. If you possess a special skill and knowledge in a particular area of law, offer yourself to give trainings to the other advocates. You can always call our secretariat, our CEO, Mr. Hannington Amon, and programs officer by the name of David Sigano. They are always ready and willing to assist. Offer your services to the society. It is us who are going to build this society.
Yes.
So if we don't do that, who else is going to do it?
Sure.
Let's not let down the founders. They're very old men right now, but you'll be shocked they're still participating in the activities of EALS. Also, when you attend these conferences, let it not be just a platform for enjoyment. Yes?
Party after party.
Party after party. Network.
Yeah.
Talk to advocates from across the region. Sit together, see what you can do together. I might have a client who wants to invest in Uganda. I'll remember I met this advocate at a EALS conference, and I can call them. Or in South Sudan. Network, build relationships, build and use these relationships. Yes, that is the only way you'll be able to progress and move forward. And always ask, have a habit of asking. Don't shy away from asking. If you want to know something, pick your phone, call me, send an email. We are always ready to assist. I say we are always because even if I've left, I hand it over, I still feel like I'm part and parcel of EALS. Yes.
Yeah, no, as we're now finally winding up, now you're parting short to young lawyers, or just you're parting short. Any advice to maybe even people who are aspiring to be lawyers or to St. George's? Yeah, you're parting short generally.
I'd say recently I was also appointed to sit in the legal committee of a party in Kenya. We call ourselves the largest party in East and Central Africa. So in one of the meetings, we sat with a senator Senator Parino, and we were talking, and she told me, Barbara, if you want something, you have to go for it. Don't sit there and think it will be brought to you in a silver platter. You have to fight for your space. Of course, you'll meet critics along the way, people who will discourage you, but set your mind to it. Once you set your mind to something, you're going to achieve it. Also, learn to reach out to people and ask for help. I can say I've gotten to where I am today because of the networks I've built, the friendships I've built. When I was vying, what I did, I just told my friends, I want to vie. And they all came together to support me. Financially, emotionally. They came down to Mombasa, paid for their own transportation. I didn't have to meet any of their costs. And I believe this is because of the friendship and the networks that I've built. So don't take those for granted. These people can really help you. You're young. If you want to study law, you can do it. People say it's hard, but don't listen to that. I think when we were joining School of Law, we were told that that place is so hard. But don't go there with that mentality.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, don't go there with that mentality, because once you approach a situation with that mentality of something is hard, you will never be able to achieve what you set out to do. And participate in activities of the society, not only of the East Africa Law Society, from the various countries. For lawyers, participate in activities of your society. You never know. When they normally send out, I think they send out through the LSK and even other regions, they call for members to send application to join boards. Send out your applications. That way, you'll be able to join these boards. You'll be able to, when you join the boards, you meet other people, you network, and you go to the next level.
Yes.
So don't be afraid to ask. Don't shy away from these opportunities. They are there for us. Take them up and fight, work hard, stay committed, and you'll get to where you want to go. I can't say I'm where I want to be, but I know I'm in the right direction. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Barbara.
You're most welcome.
It was a pleasure having you.
Yes. Thank you.
And also thank my viewers.
Yes, and one more thing. I think I've had so much to do in the past few days. I've not been able to say a big thank you to all the lawyers who elected me to represent you at EALS. I'm very grateful you gave me that opportunity. I got to engage with most, if not all of you, and what I set out to do, I did in part. I'm still going to continue working with the current young lawyers representative and the Deputy Secretary General, and also the President of EALS to push for our agenda. I would not have been there without you. I don't take your support for granted. I continue to ask you to support me and pray for me and work with me. Thank you very much, and God bless all of you.
Wow. Thank you so much for that lovely ending. And I have nothing further to add, and I just encourage my viewers to watch this video and share it widely so that people can understand what the East African Law Society is about. Yes, thank you.